like, gang, you're in profit the whole time, from great trade one at 1861 all the way down to 1853. Draw our trend line, boom, we're in a downtrend. Price consolidated, but still making structure. Makes a lower low from great trade one, and it makes a lower low all the way down to what 1857. And it makes a lower high to 1860, makes a lower low to 1858, a lower high back to 1860, before what making a lower low down to 1857. And then it makes a lower high to 1859 before making a lower low to 1857 before making a lower high to 1859. Wait for price to make a lower high. Then you could have gotten for another trade right here. Boom, you could have gotten for another trade once price made a lower high. Boom. On the 15 and the 5 minute, we're looking for entries. Extremely important to understand, so price makes a lower high right here from 1857 all the way to 1859. Still take profit 7 area. We're still in take profit 7 area. Once we get a break below this box, we're in take profit 6 area. This is take profit 6 area. You could have gotten for a trade right here. Boom. Once price makes a lower high, and I'll show you that again. You could have gotten for this is can still consider a great trade. This can still consider a great trade right here. Great trade one, a great trade two. Sorry about that. This is a great trade two. This is still considered a great trade. You got in at the high. Once price made a lower high, you can get in right there, right here. Great trade one, great trade two. If you had missed this one from 1861, and from once price makes a lower high, you can see on the 5 minute, price made a lower low, starting the market off of February 13th, makes a lower low all the way down to 1855 where this arrow's at, and then price goes all the way up to 1861. Then you could have gotten, as you would have tried to get in for a sell at 1855 where this arrow's at, you have tried to get in for a sell, and then price pushes. You see a yellow candlestick push back up from 1855 all the way back up to 1861. And depending on your lot size, it could have got you out that trade. Definitely could have got you out that trade. And you have to be aware of that. You have to be aware of what price is doing. Like, you have to wait for price to make structure. Like, you have to wait for price to make structure. You have to wait for price to make a lower high. You see, you would have gotten at this lower low, thinking price is going to keep going down to this lower low, and it doesn't. It has to make structure. You have to wait for price to make structure. It makes a lower high, then it makes a lower low. Once price makes a lower high, get in for profit, get in for a trade, great trade one. Then it makes a lower low. Once price makes a lower high again, great trade two, and you're in profit as price makes a lower low, and now we're in a downtrend. So we're doing entries now. So once price makes this lower high, you could have got in for a great trade, and then you could have rolled this down to this lower low, and you're in profit the whole time as price never goes back up to this lower high. It makes another lower high, but this lower high that you originally got in previously at here, and all the way down to this lower low, then makes a lower high. Boom, you can get in for another trade at great trade two and ride this down to this lower low. As we're now in the downtrend, price is making lower lows and lower highs and lower lows and lower highs and lower lows. Extremely important for your psychology. Extremely, extremely important for your psychology. Okay, so you could have got in. Once price makes this lower high, you can get in for great trade one. So you have to wait for price to make a lower high. Once price makes a lower high, then you can get in for great trade one. You could have got in, and you're in profit this whole time. You're in profit this whole time. Price never got back up above this lower high at great trade one. You're in profit from 1861 down to 1852, and depending on your lot size, easily, couple hundred, depending on your lot size, couple thousand, easily, depending on your lot size, So you have to wait for price to make a lower high. As price makes a lower high, then you could have gotten for great trade one. You to try to get in for this trade at this lower low, thinking price is going lower and lower. Price makes a lower high. You have to wait for price to make structure. Once price makes structure, then you can get in for this lower high. Once price makes a lower high, you get in for great trade one. And this is how we find the best entries. We have to wait for price to make structure. You have to wait for price to make structure first, and then we could have got in for an entry. On a 5 minute, I'm showing you on a 5 minute. We could have got in for an entry once price made a lower high, and for great trade one. So price makes a lower high, and then makes a lower low. Back down to 1857 before making another lower high at 1859 at great trade 1859, and you're trying to get in for another sell at 1857, and you're thinking price is going from 1857, and you're thinking price is going lower and lower, and it doesn't. It goes back up to 1859 before going to 1857 right here, 1856 right here. You try to get in for a sell right here. You try to get in for a sell right here because you're thinking price is going to go lower and lower and lower. No, you have to wait for price to make another lower high. Once price makes another lower high at great trade 2, then you could have got in as price makes a lower low after making a lower high. Price makes a lower low at 1859 and makes a lower low, all the way down past 1855. Now, this is the first lower low that price made starting February the 13th. Once price makes a lower low right here at this arrow, once price passes this arrow at 1855, we're now in a downtrend. Because this is the first low that price made at 1813, February 2022. Once the market started, Sunday, February 13th, 2022. This is our first low that price makes. Once price gets below this first low at this arrow that it made on February 13th, starting the market off, then we're in a downtrend. We're completely in a downtrend. As you see, once price got below this lower low, you could have got in once price broke this lower low or broke this box. You could have got in, and we're still in profit. You could have got in at 1855. For another trade. Could have got in. This is for entries. As we're going over entries, once price gets below, once we see price get below this lower low, gets below this lower low right here, starting where this arrow is at, starting to market off February 13th, we could have gotten for another trade, and this could have been another trade right here for us. This could have been another trade. It's not a great trade, but it's still a good trade. It's still a good. It's still at the top of the market. It's still in take profit 7 areas. Could have gotten for a trade right here. Trade one. It's still a great trade. And we could have wrote it from 1855 all the way down to 1852, depending on your lot size. Easily could have been a couple thousand, couple hundred, depending on your lot size, how much you have in your account, how much you're willing to risk. So we have to wait for price to make another lower high, and then we could have gotten for great trade 2. And once price breaks this arrow, once price gets below this last low, February the 11th, 1855, it gets past it at trade 1. We could have gotten at trade 1 at 1855 and rode this all the way down to 1852. As you see, sellers are in control. We see black candlesticks on the 5-minute, letting us know sellers are in control. So once price passes this last lower low, starting this market off February 13, 2022, once price makes this past this lower low, we can enter for another sell right here. This could have been our last sell right here, our trade 1 sell. And as we're only looking for sales, as price is now in a downtrend, after making this major move, all the way up to take profit 7, after making this major move all the way to take profit 7, now we're in a downtrend. Price reversed it. We see a bearish engulfing pattern at take profit 7 area. You see this bearish engulfing pattern right here. Let us know price is reversing. See right here, boom. See this bearish engulfing pattern, black candlestick engulfing this yellow candlestick, take profit 7 area, and now we're in a downtrend. All right, gang.